Good day, viewers. You're welcome to Stanley Dave Leader Stand. I am Usaitin Yewari, a production of ISDA Global International, led by our leader coach, Stanley Dave. And today, I have here with me a very responsible man, Mr. Jeffrey Koku Edo. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very
He's
much for
happily
having me.
married to Mrs. Endurance Edo with two beautiful kids. Also, he's a CEO of Gold Life Events and more. Sir, you're welcome once
Thank you.
again.
Thank you very much.
And so today, our topic is very, very interesting, honestly, I tell you that. Due to the low life of living here in Nigeria and the high cost of living as well, and the salary rate is stable, we're going to be discussing a very interesting topic. Why is entrepreneurship important in modern day Nigeria and its economy? Please sit back and enjoy as we discuss the topic. I have here with me Mr. Jeffrey. Like I said earlier, he has tested both sides. He was once an employee, now he's an employer. So you see that he's the best person for this topic. So today, as we begin, let's start with entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship?
Thank you so much for that question. Um, Most times, people want to think that an entrepreneur is someone that has an idea, a business idea, okay, or somebody that is passionate about a business. That is not an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is somebody that facilitates or that brings into reality a business idea. So I could have a business idea in as much as it's not yet a reality. I'm not yet an entrepreneur. So an entrepreneur is business creator, creates business, employs people. In other words, he is an employer of labor. So that is an entrepreneur.
Thank you, sir. I actually have my own definition. Like an entrepreneur solves problem using the resources in the country available, using
Okay.
such resources in Nigeria now as a case study
That's
to
when you
solve
go when
problems.
you go in details. So I just throw a little bit of light into who an entrepreneur is. Of course, to set in a business, you have to actually use resources, capital resources, human resources, in all the resources you could have to make your business idea a reality. So of course, making a business idea a reality, you're going to be making use of labor, you're going to be making use of land, you're going to be making use of capital. Okay, so you just threw more light into what I just said.
All right, thank you very much,
That's
sir.
all.
So now that we know what an entrepreneur is,
All right.
I'm sure there are benefits of being an entrepreneur.
Very well.
So please, can you tell us the benefits?
There are enormous benefits to one, to the entrepreneur, and two, to the locality or the community where the entrepreneur resides. I mean, where he gets to do his business and services. And there is enormous benefits even to the persons, I mean, the employees that works in such a business venture. Okay, and as one will have it, I was once an employee. Okay, to a very large extent, for the time I worked with the entity I worked with, to a very large extent, it affected my standard of living. Okay, I just moved out of school and I got a job. So I ceased to actually make my life better. That wasn't coming from me, but it was coming from my employer. So in a very large extent, they affected my standard of living. Okay, the benefits of one other benefits of an entrepreneur, or the benefits for an entrepreneur to society and locality where they exist, it's that it actually helps in wealth creation. So we're going to look into this much later on in this program. It helps in wealth creation and distribution, right? Um, when a business is cited, All right. Resources are being employed into making it a reality.
Yeah.
All right. Private investors come in, public investors they come in. The lenders they equally come in terms of giving out capital, loans and all that. So this later translates into making one the economy of the country to grow. Okay, there is more inflow of capital, of income, and that translates into the standard of living of the people. Okay, and it really helps in the development of the community with the innovations that this entity or this entrepreneur brings into bear in ensuring that they actually affect the community where they reside.
Mm. Sure. Thank you, sir. So now that we know the benefits, I'm very sure that our viewers out there are eager to know what. So definitely there must be risk involved. Yeah, definitely. So I want you to also tell us the risks involved in being an entrepreneur. Definitely. And considering the country we are here in Nigeria.
Yeah, not so much. Of course, for any good, there is a bad. For every advantage, there is a disadvantage. Okay.
Sure.
For the risk of an entrepreneur, to starting up a business, first and foremost, you must get your framework very intact.
Mm.
Framework is very, very important because if you start a business without having the initial framework, at the end of the day, the resources you're going to employ is going to, amount to a great loss and a great wastage. Okay, and for the risk of being an entrepreneur, it's I want to liken it to when the policy does not favor your business. It turns out to be a risk. All right. For every striving business, there's a backing up of the policy of the state. Okay, just like this entity where I'm speaking from now, there is a media policy on it that is making it strive. All right.
Yeah.
There's a media policy that makes it strive. So if there is no media policy, there's a cluster in that aspect of the policy, it becomes really difficult for this entity to strive as in a business. Okay.
Okay.
Another risk that could be involved in an business is when the human capital resources you're bringing into play are not adequately and sufficiently, how will I put it now? Adequately and sufficiently empowered to give you, as in the entrepreneur, the quality of products that you want to render. Right? At the time, Kenya at the time was suffering from this in terms of IT development. But I'll tell you today, in Sub West Africa region, Kenya happens to be the leading country on ICT. Now, why do you think that has become a reality for them? At the time, it was a huge risk for them. But the government needed to do a lot in their policy framework by ensuring that the best hands are being brought in, okay, to tutor these persons in the area of ICT. And today, they stand out. If not the best in Africa, but at least one of the best in Africa. So you can see that the policy is not really in place. The entrepreneur has little or nothing to do. Okay, they're exposed to so much risk and all that. So there's so much risk.
So when you talk about policies, what kind of policies should the government put in place in order to favor the entrepreneur?
All right. In terms of policy, not that our policies are not good. Okay. Before we got on set, we're discussing that most of the time, the policy drivers, those that drive the policy, makes it almost impossibly dormant. Okay? The policies, our policies in Africa, our policies in Nigeria, it's very okay. All right? But there are some lacunas in our policies. Okay, I can remember in a particular government, when importers are bringing in goods, there are duty waivers. Duty waivers, the tariff on the imported goods are so low and all that. Yeah. Okay, but in some other administration, because of the desire to increase in IGROs and all that, so the policy becomes so tough. On imported goods, starting up a business. That reminds me, very, very recently, a bill was passed into law that it doesn't only take two persons to start a company. One person can start a company now. As I am now, I don't need a second party to be in partnership with me to already start a company. But before now, it was a deal. It was a big deal. You as an individual cannot just start a company of your own. All right? That was due to policy from you. So now that the policy is a little bit, losing, so it has not given, kind of less friction. People cannot come into, setting up a business because why? The policy has given it that level playing ground. So that's just it.
That's good. And then research have it that the economic growth of a country is largely affected by the quality of the entrepreneur.
Very true.
So what do you have to say about the quality of entrepreneur here in our country?
Quality of entrepreneur in terms of the business they have cited, I wouldn't say they are doing badly, but there is still room for improvement. Okay, there's still room for improvement. Like I said earlier on, before an entrepreneur go ahead to start a business, okay, there is an idea in the person's mind. There's an idea of the quality of service to be rendered. Okay, there's an idea of the staff or the employee this person's want to bring on board in ensuring that the product and services that goes out to the people is of the highest quality. All right, and I know that in this very entity where I'm speaking from now, I know the coach very well. He believes in high quality service rendering.
Yeah.
So if the product that goes out at the end is not of the highest quality, it affects one, the response feedback.
Yeah.
It affects two, at the end of the day, the GDP of the country or even the state, as it were. So when there is quality rendering of services, there is influx of people that want to patronize. Now you can step into a boutique, for instance. You just take it to that level. You want to buy a goat, for instance, and you get the quality of what you see is so poor. All right? Now, the time you went in there is resources. Okay? You took resources in there to equally purchase something. So now you're not purchasing. Why? Because of the low quality of what you're seeing there. You stepped out. All right?
Yeah.
The person has lost income. So it's a chain. The person has lost income where the person purchases from as equally, there will be a delay on return. So that in a large way affects what goes back to the GDP of the country. So you see, quality cannot be overemphasized in setting up a business. All right? Yeah. It saves time, it saves resources. Okay? At the end of the day, it gives customer satisfaction.
So what is the problem now in our country? Because most business owners, their main aim is to make profit, not even to satisfy the So what exactly is the problem? Is it corruption? I don't understand. What's the problem? Because it's really sad to see that when you get to a place, you can't get what you really want because the person is trying to make profit.
well, I wouldn't want to liken it to corruption. Okay, I don't want to liken it to corruption because for every business you cite, there's an idea behind that business. All right, and of course, um, the community or the society where you choose to affect. Okay, they are the low income earners and the high income earners. I don't want to say they're middle class because we really don't have middle class. We have the upper class and the lower class. Either you're up or you're down. You're not here at the middle. All right. Now, probably it could be due to the standard of living. It could be due to the poverty level. All right. You can't expect a man who is poor, who is less than $1 per day, to be looking for quality. I don't know if you understand. Quality is expensive. Okay? So if you as a business person, you have read the environment where you operate from, that these people here, you bring in quality too long. But when you bring in quantity, it goes. So you want to advise yourself on how to play. But that notwithstanding, it's still very, very important that the quality of products that goes out should not be downplayed upon. All right? Just as we have those, poor people around us, but that shouldn't affect your personal policy of quality rendering of services. Of course, there are still going to be people who will come to equally patronize you, despite your high quality. All right. So government can actually help in trying to raise the standard of living of our people. Okay. At the time, we used to see these people around so very well. These people from a neighboring country here. I don't want to mention names. Yeah. Okay. But today, you hardly see them around. You hardly see them around. Have you wondered why?
I think in this part of the country.
Have you wondered why? Or even if they are still around, but not in the nature of business they were in today. Have you wondered why? Because why? The economy over there has been improved upon. Standard of living has been boosted. So instead of wallowing here, they rather go back and enjoy their life. And there's even migration of our people from here to there. Massively. Why? Standard of living has improved. The quality of life there has improved. So you can see how entrepreneur can actually help in the quality of life of the society. And the role of government also can drastically help in improving the standard of life and living of the people. So we can't really overemphasize it.
Just like you said earlier, now let's go into the business of the day. The importance of entrepreneurship in modern day Nigeria and its economy.
Wow.
You already started some things about that. So let's now talk about it in detail.
That can not be overemphasized. The importance of entrepreneurship in modern day Nigeria or in the country as a whole. Like I said earlier on, entrepreneurship business has a great influential role to play in the standard of any country's economy. All right. And I want to start by saying this. It actually plays the role of job creation. We know in the country where we are, there's a high level of unemployment. All right. If you take it back to the 70s, probably the early 60s and all that, Nigeria's economy was booming. There were a lot of local industries that had, boosting from government to operate. Okay, I grew up to know or to hear, my people, my parents talking about Edu Textile,
Mm.
Edu Textile, but it's no more. Now you could imagine the employment that entity created as at that time. Now you could imagine the number of persons that were working in that entity as at that time. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when the local industries are functional, it reduces the high level in a particular society.
Yeah.
But when this entity folds and closes up, people are laid off, and that results to increase in unemployment. And when there is an increase in unemployment, you know what follows? Because the first desire of any human is to survive.
True.
So when there is no legal means of survival, there is an illegal means of survival. And that results to crime.
Mm.
So government is crying about so many things when they are taking their eyes off the true cause of the problem.
Oh,
When
true.
people can work, there'll be less crime. If people can be employed to work, there will be less crime. People will give themselves to vices. Okay? So job creation, is one of the importance of entrepreneurship to our present day Nigeria's economy. All right. And number two, it leads to what's it called now? To wealth creation and sharing. Wealth creation and sharing. Um, let's take Good Light Events more for an example. That business was cited, resources or capital was put into play, all right? Staff were being employed, they are on payroll, okay?
Mm.
And to a very last extent, there was direct investment, okay? There was direct investment into the business, all right? Now, when we render our services, at the end of the day, it translates into the creation of wealth, and we're sharing, okay?
Yeah.
The staff that work with us get paid at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, this same money goes to the family to affecting them positively. So there is no, concentration of wealth
Yeah.
to one part, just as we have it in our country, because the wealth is just up there.
Yes.
It's not
true.
coming down. The wealth is just up there. It's not coming down. If the wealth is allowed to come down, the standard of living of those at the very low class is going to improve upon. Okay? You will hear the issue of fine. It's not so much money at the end of the day, but you will hear so much people crying about no money. Okay? It affects every part of the society. The family, those you have employed to work, those that are making direct and indirect investments. At the end of the day, the wealth just go round. Everybody are happy. Okay? And number two, number three now, it contributes immensely to the country's GDP. Okay? I want to cite an example using Indian. Indian's economy is such that used to be more of consuming. Okay? But now they are into manufacturing. I was shocked to see a TV that was manufactured in India. A TV set. Indian manufactured. Okay? Now it translates into increase in GDP of any country. By that, what do I mean? In Indian, over 36 million unit jobs are being created. And this affects over 80 million people of the population. And as a result of that, 37% of the country's GDP comes from that. 37% of the country's gross domestic product comes from the entrepreneurship sector. You see that if we as a people could, create a more level playing ground for young businesses to be cited, you can imagine what is going to, affect at the end of the day in Nigeria. Nigeria, we have, I think our population is over 1.80 million now.
Yeah.
It's increasing. As in
Daily.
100 now, it's increasing. It's increasing daily. As a matter of fact, a king of, I'm not mistaken now, there is a king that actually said the government should control birth rate
in
Nigeria because the population is going up.
Yeah.
There's no commensurate, approach to making things better. It's for me, it's tsunami. It's tsunami. Because you don't have policies or probably how to provide for these people. But the population is just going up. If all Nigerians decide to return back home, humorously, I don't think this country will contain everybody.
I doubt.
Do you understand? Okay. Yeah. But that, by the way, it does, increase the country's GDP. And when the GDP of the country increases, the economy is stable to a very large extent. Okay. I want to say it equally helps in the standard of living, most importantly. It contributes immensely to the standard of living, not just to the people, to the community, to the state, and to the country in general. Okay, so we can overemphasize the importance of entrepreneurship to the economy of the present in Nigeria and all that. Entrepreneurship for me is everything. It's really everything.
But because of time, would have loved to continue. I really wanted to advise, the public, and because I see complaint here and there, the employees are complaining about their employers, and then the employers are complaining about the employees. So I just want to advise both, because you've been in both shoes, so you really know what the problem is, or you can tell us more stuff. I just want to advise them in even a minute before we conclude. Yeah.
All right.
Advise both the employees and then the employers as well.
Please permit me to digress a little for 1 minute. For every entrepreneur, there are things that you need to have. There are, how will I put it now? There are traits that you need to have to be a good entrepreneur. Right? A lot of persons just dash into setting up a business without having this quality in them, because these are the quality that will sustain you as an entrepreneur. A lot of persons are not disciplined. Self-mastering, self-direction, you're going to have, self-determination. Not when the blue comes, you just quit the business, you pack up and you go. Then you dive into something else. You are not disciplined. In good times and in bad times, ensure you are always there. A lot of entrepreneurs don't have integrity. Integrity is the highest value of a human character. If you dampen on your integrity, it's going to affect everything you do in life. Sure. All right? Integrity, we're hearing that your word is your bond. And let that play in your business, even in the service you render. Ensure you discipline yourself to the extent you become so honest that when people hear you in your absence, they believe what you said, even while you're not there. Yeah. Because they know this is his honor. A lot of, how will I put it now? People play so much in business. There's no trust. I want to do business, for instance, with particular clients. I'm afraid to release my fund
Yeah.
because I don't trust that person. No integrity. It's one of the reasons why probably business is not thriving in Nigeria because
Trust.
the level of integrity is so low.
No.
It's so low. Okay. And then number three is you have to be decisive and action oriented. Decisiveness and action oriented. Don't allow every idea you have to remain with you. Like the coach said, I read in one of his posts, that the right time is now. So when an idea comes to you now, the right time to make it work is now. Don't let it go to sleep. All right.
Yeah.
So with this, I want to advise the employers and the
And the
employees.
employees.
For the employers, or one of the reasons why the employees complain so much about the employers is the staff welfare is really not. Is very staff welfare is very, very low. Now you cannot expect a driver that drives you every day to go hungry.
Sure.
But if that man needs are met, he's going to be the best driver you're going to ever have. Okay? There's a popular saying that if you pay your staff well, they will lay down their life for your business. If your staff are happy, your business will grow very well. They can give their last minute to ensuring that the business is up and doing. But when your staffs are not happy, it translates into what comes back into your business. They become like I said it. When you're there, they are serious.
Yeah.
When you're not there, it's not their business. So you understand? So staff welfare cannot be overemphasized, in any entity. Okay. And for the employees, don't be over expectant from your employer. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever they are giving, they believe is commensurate to the value of the service you're giving back to them. Okay. So when we know where we stand, I think both parties will be happy at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry we have to come to the end of today's program. I feel so sad because we have so many things to talk about, but because of time. So our viewers out there, I love you so much. Thank you for spending our time to watch this program. Honestly, I really appreciate the time. And then to Mr. Jeffrey, sir, thank you very much for coming. Honestly, we would love to have you some other time because we need more education on this. Thank you so much. I remain your host, Osariti Yeware. Hope to see you next week, same time. Bye. I love you.